And I'm Deidra. Oh, okay, so yes, thank you for tuning in. So today, we're going to get started with the show, and we're going to do celebrities' birthdays like we always do. So today, Randy Jackson, is he on American Idol? Randy Jackson or Michael Jackson? Randy Jackson, is that Michael Jackson's brother?
No. Randy Jackson?
Yes.
Which one?
I don't know. So
He's turning 59. It's somebody.
Okay. Well, he's turning 59 today, and then Tom Cassell is turning 22. We have Jason Mraz, I believe, and he's turning 38. So happy birthday to all the birthdays out there today.
Yeah.
What else is going on in the world? Okay. Anything?
I mean, I don't have anything else to share.
Nothing to share. Okay.
I want to jump right in.
Okay. Well, let us. So, are we going to talk about men versus women?
Yeah. Part 2, men versus women. Part 2, men versus women.
So, we're going to have two ladies on our left.
We got 1.5 on the right.
1.5 on our right. Yeah. So we have 1.5 men on the right.
You 1.5 men.
So that's what's going on in the world today. 1.5 men.
1.5.
I guess that gives us, and that puts us in the state of mind, where are the men at? Men, where are you? Good question. So we're going to get started. Okay, so we're going to get started with the question. Let me see. Sheena,
Well,
you got a
the
question?
first one we're going to step into this. We're going to talk about women proposing to men. Is it right or is it wrong?
What?
Yeah, they're doing that.
that?
They're doing it nowadays.
Are you serious? Oh, well, good. Well, that's great. Well, good for you.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, wow, you're really switching up the game, aren't you? The walk man. Well, that's good. I'm just thinking, who does that? We all have our personal opinions and views, and so I'm just thinking, who really does that? Okay, so let's go. How do you guys feel about women proposing to men? Is that right or is that wrong?
I'll start. I'm Yolanda, and I think that is just, it's an example of how a lot of things are shifted in our society today as far as just traditions. A lot of traditions are shifting. I personally would not, I'm okay with people doing whatever they feel comfortable with doing. Personally, for me, I'm a very traditional person, so I would expect a man to propose to me if that's where we were in a relationship. But it's an example of how the traditions in our society are doing a major shift. What do you think, William?
I think that along with the other rights that women have fought for, along, wanting in the workplace and voting and things of that nature, I believe that if that's what they want to do, they have the right. Well, what stops them from doing that? I mean, they've come a long way since the 30s, 40s, 50s. Everybody has, seen the women's rights, and it's a big thing now. Now you have what's called feminism and things of that nature. So if I think if women, choose to, if they want to start proposing, I mean, why not? I mean, you fought for all these other rights and to be able to do these other things. I mean, so I wouldn't say it would. I don't feel a certain way about it. I just think it's just something that is something that they feel they want to do. They have the right to do it.
Later, what do you
I
think?
would have to say that I somewhat agree with William and Rolanda. As far as tradition has been for hundreds of years. The woman is a little more subservient to the male, and the male is more dominant in a relationship. So, with that being said, with a male remaining dominant in a relationship, I think I would feel most comfortable in a situation where the man proves his dominance, and that is the role of the male, is to propose to the woman. I'm not for or against, but I'm a little bit with tradition, but also with the male role remaining the male's role as dominant in a relationship. Not being subservient as a woman, but allowing that man to exhibit that dominant quality that is needed for the foundation in a relationship.
Can I interrupt?
You sure can.
In listening to your points, and everybody has really good points, in my view, I'm thinking, if you propose to him, what is the tone that you're setting?
I agree.
What's the tone?
I agree.
If I have got to see value in him versus him seeing value in me, and heaven forbid I get down on a knee, what? A knee? I'm just thinking, what is going to be his role, and what is he going to do as the man? I mean, we want value, we want to give value, we want love, we want to give love. That's why we're here. But when it comes to proposals, I'm just thinking it almost sets a tone for, are you going to be the forerunner for everything?
Right.
Are you going to take out the trash too? Are you going to, get your oil changed, wash your car?
Right.
Are you going to... It's such a strong statement, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a huge deal. And in thinking about it, I saw something like that on Facebook. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I saw something like that on Facebook, and I was like, well, to each his own. But to me, it just sets the tone for something else.
And what does that look like even within that relationship? Like in traditions, a man, when they propose, before they propose, they get some approval or some acceptance, like, yes, you are welcome into our family, we would love for you to be a part of our daughter's life forever. Whatever the male parental figure is in that woman's life. So how does that work if the roles are reversed? What does that look like? What is this woman going and doing and saying to invite this man into her family? And then also, I think when it comes to proposals and traditions, when you think about a proposal, this man traditionally is asking the woman to take on him as a husband and to take on his name and to bear his children and to kind of, start this legacy with him. How does those role reversals look when I'm asking you to, and I'm looking at you, William, just because you're the only man, and I know that's kind of a lot of pressure to be representing mankind, but just to look at a man and say, hey, I want to take on your name. That's basically what you're saying. You're saying, hey, I want to take on your name. You're asking him. It's just very, for me, it's very confusing.
It's very confusing.
When it comes to roles.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, it doesn't say when a wife finds a husband. It says when a husband finds a wife.
Absolutely.
He finds a good thing and finds favor. So I'm just, everyone has different opinions, and so it's just kind of strange.
I agree.
Kind of strange.
But I'm going to give a male's perspective of, someone being a single male, and like when I see that and I hear what people's opinions are, and I think about how I would feel and how I would really look at it. Now, like I said, I'm not biased or I don't have an opinion, but I would think that first, the reason why I think a woman would do is because as a single man, you don't have to get married, especially a black man. You know what I mean? It's like you have a lot of options, and you can just literally just linger. And sometimes I don't think we all linger purposely. We just linger because we just don't have to commit. You know what I mean? And sometimes I think it's in a society where women are outnumbering the men the way they are. I think that's just a particular woman saying, I'm going to take this position. I'm going to just give him, I'm going to go and say, look, because you can literally subconsciously just be out here dating, or even be in relationship and not really have to. I mean, I've had older men tell me, man, you don't have to settle. You don't have to get married till you don't have to get married till you're 50. If she's the right one, if you were already maybe thinking it and she did it, like, that's why I put myself in that position. When that happens, I'm thinking, like, if I was dating the person I was already thinking about it and then she did that, I would be like, yeah. And I don't think that it would actually change my view on like as far as my dominance in the role. I don't think that would make a big difference. I don't think like it's not gonna say I'm not gonna take out the trash, I'm not gonna be the man. It's just she took the initiative because literally, like, if you don't have a father, if you don't, you grew up in a single parent home, you were a latchkey kid,
Okay.
you grow up, you make it through society without, really screwing up your life, and then you grow up, you're dating, you've never seen it in your household.
Correct.
You don't know that.
You don't
So
know
then
that.
you're sitting there and you're like, you're just dating, and somebody you might really be the one does that. It may not necessarily be a bad thing. It might be like, okay, I'll do that, and then I think it can go from there. I'm not saying it's not right or wrong biblically. I'm not saying it's right or wrong morally, but I think that's just the world we live in. I mean, so many things have changed.
You're right. A lot has changed. You're right. That's a good answer. I appreciate that. We really do.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah, I
answer.
like that.
So I have a question. May I ask? So do you think that? I mean, this is just a random thought, but is it possible for someone to stay single too long? Like be single too long? Like maybe they've just been single for years and years. Is it possible?
You mean single and dating, or just single,
Single and non-married.
I mean single,
Unmarried.
non-married. Just
Non-married.
right.
Just-
Do you think that? And do you think that? I have to think about that question, but do you think it's possible for someone to just be single for so long or too long?
I think for me, and I'm sorry if I interrupted.
No, you're fine.
I think for me, when I meet, because like I said last week, I've been in a lot of phases in life, and I'm back in the dating phase of life. And when I meet people that men that are single and never married, and they're mid 40s, that's kind of like early 40s, mid 40s, and they're single, never married, it does make me say,
It's okay, William. Thanks, William. Such a man. Such a dominant man. Such a dominant man. See, you're a good candidate for a husband.
And we get some good laughs, and that's good. Thank you. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
No problem.
He's very sweet.
I wonder if they have not been able to sustain a relationship, if they have not been able to have a committed situation, I wonder, what is the challenge for them? So if they have been single and have not been married, it does, for me, it does raise some red flags that, what's going on with you that makes you not commit, or
Correct.
what's going on with you that makes a woman not want to commit to you.
Correct.
So it does. It's kind of an inquiry that happens in my mind, and I wanna know more before I move forward.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe you got any thoughts?
I do. So that kind of goes back to what William said about having that foundation. And if you've never witnessed it, you haven't had the guidance on being what a relationship really entails, because you were raised in whatever type of manner, whether it's with a single mom or another woman that was not married or in committed long-term relationships, the likelihood of you being in one of those kind of relationships is a little bit slim, because you have to know what that picture really looks like, and to be comfortable with it, you have to have had those experiences, either through growing up and being raised that way, or someone molding you to become that person that's not afraid to commit. But that doesn't mean that that person is going to be your ideal husband or your ideal mate, because those kind of people depend on their influences and what they saw. A lot of times those men, they grow up in these single parent households that the woman, for whatever reason, feels that dominant role and pretty much tells you that they're playing this dominant role. So now you have those dominant role confusions, because you feel like, okay, a woman can do this. Well, I can just lay back. I don't have to commit because she's okay, and I can still have what I want, and not have that commitment. But I think that what's most important is when you have those positive role models in your life, whether it be male or female, that we influence our boys that this might not be right. We're making it, but this is not the way of the world. This is not the end of what you do.
Right.
You can always make those changes, but if you haven't been influenced in that manner, I can see why you said, well, it's okay to be single and I just date, and if it don't work, I just date somebody else, and I date for 5 years. And the question for me is, how long is too long to date somebody? Do you date with a purpose, or do you just date just for the pleasure? Because if you date for the pleasure and not the purpose, then you're probably going to date for a long time, and I'm guilty myself. I was in a relationship for 24 years, and I've never been married. So what is too long? When you know that, okay, you're comfortable, you get complacent, and you learn to accept those things, regardless of what you feel like inside you want, what's going to fully satisfy you. You get consent and you get complacent and you settle for what you have because you got the comfort zone. So the question for me is, how long is too long to date prior to being married? And if you know that you're dating somebody for a number of years, when do you say, hey, this is not what I want, I want to be married? Do I just, flip the switch and now it's over? Or do you continue to date this person because these feelings that you have, but if the goal is not set up front, how do you determine like what's too long?
You know
what I mean?
what?
Because
That's a good statement, because last week we were talking, and so I kind of got jumped on, and that's okay, because I was basically saying that when I meet people, I kind of give them a spiel, and that really wasn't the right word, but I give people my expectations because, one, I have expectations for myself. So I want to tell you, before you waste my time, and I waste my own time, I don't mind dating or hanging out, but just understand, you know what I mean? I'm only going to do this for so long. It's just like in the Muslim community.
That's what I'm saying about purposeful dating. And if both parties are in agreement of we both have a purpose, then that's when you start setting goals. After you learn this person, if you know that, okay, this person is not the right person for me, then you set those goals, but those goals never get set and never get established because there was no purpose at the beginning. You end up, as William stated, I just date people and I feel like I don't have to commit.
Right, because if there's no conversation.
Because that person never told you, hey, this is my ultimate goal, this is what I want.
Right.
Whether it's with you or someone else, this is my ultimate goal. So I can date you for 3 years. Really? No, I'm probably gonna date you for a few months and I'm gonna fill you out. Then I'm gonna see that your purpose and my purpose don't match. So then what do we do? So like, how long do you wait? Do you date a person?
Like, I don't want to be an eternal girlfriend.
Yeah, right. I don't want to be your life girlfriend so that you can say, hey, I'm still single out in the streets and I can date somebody else if I just decide to flip your switch.
Okay, and
now
so
your flip is off. So
I'm gonna say this, and you guys are probably gonna get upset with me, and that's okay. And so if someone drops dead tomorrow and I've been with you for 30 years, you can't get a Social Security check, you can't put your name on nothing. We have been eternally boyfriend and girlfriend. And it's something, because when you care about somebody, you take care of them, they take care of you. But legally, if something were to really happen, you have no rights to anything, and you shared half your life with this person. So it just depends on who you are and what you think about. But I've seen things from different ways. My parents were married 25 years. So, and then I know how to date. And then I choose not to date on occasion. So I'm just saying it's touchy. It's very touchy.
So do you think that's why women have started to have this movement of proposing to men, because they don't want to be in those situations where they date indefinitely and they feel like I kind of look at it, and William, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that it's kind of backing them into a corner and saying, look, this is where I am, this is where we've been, I want a commitment and I want you to marry me. Like, do you feel like that's why women are doing that, because the dating is so drawn out?
I think it varies on the person that you're dating. Like I said, if it was the right person, I think it would be not a bad thing at all. Like I'm putting myself in that person's like the man's position. If it was a woman I was dating and I was like, I really was feeling her and like I just hadn't got around to doing it, maybe I was thinking it and she did it. Yeah. But you know what I would really like to actually find out is how these marriages are working out. Because what actually I know for a fact is I have women friends who have told me who have conventionally, been proposed to, and I've heard these stories over and over where these men, when you're talking about dominance and the man having a role and whatnot, they'll get married and within like 6 months the guy quits working, wants to stay home and be like, I want you to take care of me.
She didn't give him the spiel.
And it's like, I don't. Basically, what I'm getting at is it varies on the individuals, and I don't think necessarily a woman proposing makes the marriage going to be a bad thing, or he's not going to take on his role as a man. I think in a lot of cases the women are doing it probably because the man is that type of a man, and they see it and they see the potential, but they know, and that's going back to my own experience, is that I don't have to. I mean, literally, I could, like I said, I've had older men tell me, man, you can really just kind of date till you're 50 years old if you want and still marry well. You can marry 20 years back because of the numbers and stuff, and the incarceration and homosexuality and things of that nature. So I just think it's just something that women are becoming proactive in seeing, and they're just saying, hey, I'm not gonna wait for this this situation to resolve. I'm just gonna take control and just go ahead and take matters in my own hands. And I believe this, to the most part, that's really what it is.
Do you think it's pressure with the social clock? Do you think it's pressure from the social clock? The social clock, meaning we feel pressure from society, we feel pressure from our families, we feel pressure from our friends. Do you think it's pressure from that social clock that's ticking? Not necessarily the one clock that's always ticking, women say, but the social clock of society.
Not that clock.
Not that clock.
Right,
Tick tick.
right.
I think a lot of it comes from pressure because I think as women we knew as little girls when we played with our friends, our female friends, and our dolls, and what we played when we were little kids is we play house, and we have a husband, we have that baby doll that's our baby. So we have that whole idea of what our future is going to look like early on. Whereas a lot of males are pretty much restricted from doing that. Like they don't do that. They don't play those roles when they're young. So I feel like it's not so much pressure, it's just your life expectation because we have already built that within ourselves as females. That's just what we do. You know, you see a little girl that's 4 years old, they're carrying their baby, and then they'll find another kid, a baby, another toy or something, and they'll say, Dad, Mama, you know? So, and this is at a very young age, so it's like the spirit of being a female. So that's what we do. It's not even about saying that, oh, your parents are married. This is by nature because I didn't grow up in a household where my parents were married, but when I was very young, my father was there. However, my memory goes back to playing, and somebody's gonna be the daddy, somebody's gonna be the mama, even though we were sisters. Like, somebody, you gonna be the daddy, I don't wanna be the daddy, I'm gonna be the mama because I wanna tell you what to do. You know, I'm gonna be the boss. Because we look at it like the mama's the boss, and the daddy go to work, you know, he get in the car, he go to work, he drive us to the store, he takes us to McDonald's, gets a cheeseburger. So this was the role, in our mind, we already developed that. As a young girl, boys don't know that because boys have never been a girl, but most girls know that we played house, we did those kind of things. These kids nowadays are dealing different because of internet and all that fast, everything happening right now, technology. It kind of changed the way people play, but we kind of program ourselves as females to have those expectations of having a husband at some point in our life. So I feel like with you saying, oh, I got older guys to tell me I can wait till I'm 50. I don't think that that's really a good thing because life is short for a lot of black men. So for somebody that's 60 to tell you at 40 that you can wait till you're 50, they don't know. You may not know that your life expectancy might end at 45, and you might have missed out on something that you never got an opportunity to experience, or you never got an opportunity to make this woman this wife that you probably would have otherwise done because you listen to somebody saying the magic age of 50, you can date back to 20 and date somebody that's 30 and marry that person. That might not be right for you. So I don't know if that's a good influence. I don't think it would be a good influence for me. Because women, we age a little bit differently and our expectations change rapidly. Because what I've expected in last year, I don't expect that. What I expected 20 years back, like I can go back 20 years to when I was in my 30s, not even 31, but when I was in my 30s, if I go back 10 years, I can't say that what I expected from a relationship is going to be the same today. Right. And just like you, as a male, I can't imagine that at 50, your expectations are going to be the same. So for an older person that's most likely experienced marriage and that's experienced things that pretty much shape them to who they are to think that they can influence you, I don't think that they're really influencing you in the right way. It might not be in the wrong way for you. It's each his own, but I don't think that it's a good thing for older people to tell younger men that's in that age group when you start to marry and start to have a family and all that to say, man, you don't have to get married. You're gonna wait till you're 50. Just have fun, man. I just don't think it's appropriate because for us women that are dating guys that might be in your age group, it sucks for us.
I just think that's a sign, that's another indication of how things have shifted in tradition because I would say 30, 40 years ago, you were hearing, okay, when are you going to make that woman your wife? And when are you going to settle down? And, you were taught that early on. When you got out of high school, you were getting settled in a job, and you were finding a wife, and you were getting married, and you were starting a family.
And this went in our lifetime.
Yeah. And then, here it is 30 years later, and it's kind of like, hey, you can wait until you get good and ready, and it's okay because you're a commodity. Yeah. And the truth is, unfortunately, that is how society has kind of catered to men. that you are a commodity, and it's okay to just kind of, take your time with things. And for women, it's much different because we age. We don't get to. It's just different. We can date down and date back, but it's different for women. So it's just it's an example of how the traditions have changed.
Yeah.
We can date back. We can
strongly
date
agree.
back.
No, you said back, but then you said
I said down.
Oh, hey, Mike. Welcome. Have a seat, Mike.
I got your back,
Good
bro.
to see you.
Good evening, good evening.
Hi. Good to see you. I'm doing good. Okay, I like when you kissed your own hand. Oh yeah, look at you.
Nice to meet you,
Mike. Rolanda.
This is simple.
All
I
right.
kiss my own hand
I
because
got
it's
you.
symbolic.
I understand.
You might not want everybody kissing on your lips.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a thought.
Thank you.
Now you said
I said down, but when I
You
said
said
down,
down.
I meant chronologically
Okay.
Down.
Okay.
back in age, not
I know
down
exactly
in
what
any,
you
Okay.
any
Yes,
other
and I
thing.
strongly agree.
But in saying that, some people do date down for the sake of marriage. They do because I want to be married.
I
So if it
understand.
means he's not going to work because I'm going to work my doubles and I'm going to do whatever I need to do to support us, some people accept that. You know what I mean? So basically, it's dating down in two ways: dating down age-wise and dating down with just your standards.
Yep.
I mean, it's possible.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
And it happens.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely
unfortunate.
happens. I mean, it depends on what every individual has to. Define what their down is. Right.
So let
Go ahead.
me clarify what I was saying. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Not to say
I mean, I'm
not
not
to say
completely
anything's
going
wrong. No,
against you
no.
saying anything's
What
wrong.
they're, I think what they're
Bring up some
ultimately,
stuff.
I think what they're ultimately saying is that you don't have to rush.
Okay.
I think they're saying you can still marry well at 50. Not saying you have to wait or wait till 50.
Okay.
But that you don't have like what it is usually is a conversation I'm having and I'm like, I'm looking or I want to be married, it's just hard to find the right person. And then they'll say, well, you can marry, you can wait till you're 50. You don't have to rush, is what they're saying.
Okay.
Not that we not wait till
Okay,
you're 50 and
okay.
find a 30-year-old,
Okay,
but
thanks for
you
the-
can rush.
thanks for the
They're saying
clarification.
you can wait until you don't have, you can wait until you're 50 and because I think times have changed. I think back in the 20s and 30s of the 19th century, your 18th and 20th century, you did marry at 15, 16, stuff like that. But I mean, everything has changed. People did. The average life expectancy around the turn of the century around that thing was like 36. So things have changed. You got people now living well 120. So I mean, and then you have to, if you go back biblically, people were living to 200 and 300. So what age were they getting married back then?
I don't
So
wanna be that old.
I don't think there's an age. I don't think there's an age for marriage. I think there's the right person with the right intentions at the right time. That's
You
just
know
mine.
what?
got an
That's a good
opinion about
answer.
that.
Yeah,
That's a good
that
answer.
is right. I totally agree with you. Mike has something to say.
Oh, okay.
I heard you mention something about age of marriage or whatever, and I'm on the back end of it, but if you're 50 and you're getting married for stability, then that means that you wasn't handling
Your
your
business.
business.
Gotcha.
Now, if you 21, 18, 19, whatever, and you come together, as a couple, whatever, and you building a foundation, it might be a little young for it, but if y'all really love each other and you really want to get together, you want to be one of those people that like creep in there and they say, Grandma and Grandpa, congratulations on your 60th, your 70th wedding anniversary. You need to get started then just based on our life expectancy.
Exactly.
You're not going to be one of those people that have great-grandparent, your great-great-grandparent with a long line of succession because, you did things with your time early in life, that other people, may not have. You made commitments, like my man, he was here last week. So it's 30 years, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if I'll ever have that opportunity, you know what I'm saying? If I do, I better hurry up, you know what I'm saying? I'm 45, so it's possible,
Yeah.
it's possible, you know what I'm
Possible,
saying?
yes.
Well, my mom and dad, they probably gonna see 50, Lord willing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They close to it, I'm 45, so they 46, they got a couple more to go, and I remember that from my grandparents, the 50th wedding anniversary, that was a big thing in our family, They got a tree with a whole bunch of money on it, and I was like, that's shit right there. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's something to look forward to. But about that age thing and marrying, if you're 50 and you're looking for stability, you want to handle your business and you'll use it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just that simple. You know, but if you happen to find someone that is financially stable and they, you know, with it or whatever, you know, hey, you know, all for you. I'm not saying not, but if you weren't looking for that, then you're wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Good answer. Thank you. We appreciate that. That was very insightful.
I just can't get on the back.
We appreciate it.
Mark.
You did good.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Our second question we're going to throw at you. We'll start with the man. We'll start with Mike. How do you feel about? Okay, how do you all feel about when men say one thing, women hear another?
Oh, well, we discussed that before. It's all about, I was always told perception is reality. A woman's perception is how she sees it, you know what I'm saying? A man's perspective is, I ain't gonna say I speak for all men, but for me, it's how it is. You know what I'm saying? Based on my experience, you know what I'm saying, and insight. You know, you guys are off intuition and emotion, I'm off facts and patterns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's what it is, what it is.
Okay. William, you got any thoughts?
You can speak.
William, got any thoughts?
I think really that's something that's like a acquired skill. So I think that there is. I think I was kind of raised in a house full of women, and they kind of taught me that women say things subtly. So I think it's something you have to pick up when there is a difference in when a man says something and a woman says something, or how she perceives what he says, or vice versa. But I just think that that there's a listening skill that has to be kind of acquired when you're listening to each other, because I may say one thing and it may come off to you totally different, and then it's vice versa. So I think it's just something that has to be learned.
Okay. Okay.
Now, from a woman's perspective, William, in reverse of what you said, as a skill, a listening skill, I feel like more importantly, it's a communication skill. So if you know your man, if you know what may be perceived as one thing, don't speak it that way. If you mean something, you have to not only be direct. You can't indirectly say something and then say, "Oh, baby, I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. You out bawling and crying. I didn't mean it that way." Say exactly what you mean and be very direct. Don't beat around the bush about it. And when you address situations, I feel like it's important as a communication skill to communicate it fully. And when you communicate, you converse with that person. So it's not just you're just saying it, you're conversing. So you're having a dialogue. So if you have a dialogue, there's no gray area, because we both are communicating back and forth. So you know what she got out of it, and she knows what your intention was or what you were trying to say. And if there's a problem there, then there's a communication skill that needs to be developed. And a lot of times I feel like in my experience, there's been a communication issue where maybe something happened, maybe there's a situation that needed to be addressed. And with a woman, we need it addressed right away.
Yes,
we don't need it addressed 2 months later, or when you feel the need to say, "Oh, bring it back up," and now we're gonna throw the ball. So we need to communicate right away. So if a woman comes and says, "Hey, this is this way, this is that way," or "I didn't like this," or whatever that line of communication is, and your response to that communication from that woman comes off wrong, either you didn't converse about it, or what you said was maybe it was aggressive, or maybe not as sensitive, or whatever. But knowing that and having that communication skill, I think would make things a little bit more balanced as far as when it comes to communication. But we're gonna get all mixed up on what, like, did he say it like that? Because we process things a little bit differently than men. We do, because we have a woman's brain, you have a male brain. Whether you're left-handed or right-handed, that's going to have a lot to do with it also. So you have a left-handed male and a right-handed woman. We got a right-handed brain, a woman's brain. You got a left-handed male brain. So we process things all kind of different. So that conversing would kind of eliminate a lot of that. So, but yes.
It wasn't, but it ain't but left or right. But it's so many different
it's left, right, with a male and a woman.
Yeah,
exactly. You don't think about it. And you have to respect that. Like, as me, in a relationship, I was in a relationship for a long time. I don't have to continue to repeat how long, but for a long time, that I had to adapt to his way of thinking. And the man has to adapt as well, which I don't feel like he adapted to me.
He has to be willing to.
He has to be willing to
Yeah.
adapt to me and the way I think and the way I process, to respect my thoughts.
Yeah.
And because I'm gonna respect yours.
yours.
That's what it is. You have to adapt and then you have to accept it, because to adapt you have to, in conversing you'll know, okay, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more, lax in the way I say things. I can't be as aggressive, or maybe I have to be a little bit more sensitive, or I have to build this communication skill, which includes all those emotions. And because women, we don't just talk, we talk with our emotions. We do. And I mean, I think everybody here that's female is gonna attest to the fact that we speak with our emotions. Even when we're angry, we might say things that we may not normally say, but it's because those emotions have been kind of frayed and a little bit, and we don't really know how to handle things, and we respond and we react. But with men, I don't feel like that reaction sometimes gets those words out of your mouth, and you say things and we're like, what did he just say? Are you kidding me? So we have to process it a little bit differently. But if you're sensitive to those things with your mate, if you care enough, you have to adapt to that.
But you have to be sensitive, and you have to care
You have to
enough
have that,
accept.
and being sensitive to it and adapting, that goes kind of hand in hand. Because you're not going to adapt if you're not sensitive to
Right.
it. Like,
You
you're
gotta
not going to be
be
willing to
You
adapt.
gotta be willing. Yeah.
And if you're not willing to adapt and communicate effectively, then it's kind of like pointless in a relationship. Because you're going to have chaos and confusion all the time.
Thank you, Maylin. That was a brilliant thought. Thank you. I
Go to
appreciate
Rolanda,
that.
and then we'll come right back to you.
Okay. And well, tell me the question again.
Why do men say one thing and women hear another?
So I agree that with my mate here, my partner here, that men and women, we just have a very different way of communicating. And men, as Mike said, men are very just concrete, very black and white. This is what it is because A and B C follows A and B, and 1 + 1 = 2. It's very, very concrete. Women, we are very gray area.
Correct.
We see all the possibilities. We're hearing
That's
all.
what we're processing.
Yeah,
Right.
we have this other very colorful way of processing what has been said. What are you thinking? What was your body language sharing with us? And this is also a reason why women kind of stay in situations way beyond their expiration date, because there's all this potential that we see, that we hear, and that we're hopeful for, because we're looking for the best and we're looking for the good. But when it comes to communication, women are just emotional beings. Men can be too. Men can tap into their emotions just as well, but that is kind of second nature for them. For women, it's first nature. And you just have that. It's just different. It's supposed to be different. Men and women are supposed to think different and communicate different. But at some point, there has to be, and like I used the word last week, it comes into play today. It has to be some balance. It has to be some compromise. There has to be some understanding. There has to be you learning my needs and I learning your needs, and that's related to communication. And we finding a way to talk and express and converse where it's where we're being effective.
Right.
Sometimes we're talking at each other, we're talking around each other, but not really being effective with our communication, so you don't get anywhere. Just kind of circle an issue, and then you say, okay, I'm just going to leave it alone, and then it comes right back up. And it's like, why do we keep going through the same thing over and over and over and over again? Because we're not really communicating to get to an end to this situation. We're just we're frustrated, so we say a lot of stuff, we get a lot of stuff off our chest, but we've said some different things, we've heard some different things, and we don't come to a conclusion or a resolution to that situation. So it is because men and women are different that we communicate different, but we can develop those communication skills that allow us to communicate effectively and have healthy relationships that work because we're resolving issues through communication. But it comes with time, it comes with learning each other, it comes with a desire to understand each other and want to respect each other's needs and kind of accommodate what the other person needs.
Thank you. Thank you. Mike?
Well, I'm so glad that y'all allowed me to speak after this young lady, because that gave me more to talk about. I'm going to go in reverse. Yes, we do communicate a little differently.
Speak up.
I said we do communicate very differently. You know what I'm saying? However, it's already been stated or whatever. You know why I'm saying what I'm saying. saying? And I understand why you're saying what you're saying or whatever. But let's be real here. When you're talking about emotions, and you're talking about facts. You know what I'm saying? Next thing is, I'm gonna be real quick because I know I can be winged or whatever. When we're talking about male and female, we're actually talking about relationships, dating, possible, marriage, whatever. You're not my mom. I don't want to look at you as, damn, I gotta go deal with this situation. Okay? Many times, and I addressed this earlier, it's a rap song, E40 and B legit, and I hate the reference rap music because it gets such a negative, overcast over whatever, but it's something logical. You gotta hear what this man said. He said, I'm gonna divorce my broad, but I'm gonna keep my... And I asked somebody, I said, why do you think he said that? You know what I'm saying? And every man is gonna tell you the same thing. Because I don't even want to say that, female dog, whatever that word is, I'll be loving, I wouldn't feel bad. Using it right now.
The side chick, bro.
Yeah, the side chick, you know what I'm saying? But she down, no question. You used to be like that. I had a woman tell me, well, I like when we was just fucking around. You know what I'm saying? Because we had fun. Now I'm your girl. It ain't the same.
They got all serious.
Expectations.
It ain't the same. I used to notice I go, when I meet a chick, when I used to dance,
Oh, yeah. Hear me.
I would dance, you dance with, and I noticed this, just human behavior, you dance with somewhat a stranger or your boo thing different than you do your girl. Because now it's different. Y'all more reserved, things like that. And my side piece, and we get it on
Why do
every
you think
time.
that's the case? Why do you think that a
You
side
know why?
piece is so much easier than a main?
You know why?
Why?
Because the side piece is submissive.
Until when?
Until she becomes your main piece.
Yeah, but see,
and then those
that's where
expectations develop
Hold on.
and stuff changes.
Here's what
So then you have to
do,
find
though.
another side piece.
Exactly.
Exactly. So what you're gonna have to do is figure out how to be that woman that I need. You know what I'm saying? And that freak that I desire.
So she needs to be the main girl and the side piece.
Listen,
Only
can I?
You have been.
Yeah.
Cause I would
You
get
have
mad
been.
at my girl
Exactly. You've been
that
that
I was
person.
messing with that you knew about me, like she get on my fucking nerves. That's why I fuck with you.
Okay.
And you listen, but then you
Alright.
had that look on your face like, I'm not gonna keep hearing about this woman that ain't doing you right.
That's right.
But if you wanna be with me, just be that friend, And a lot of times women, they wanna be your mother. You know what I'm saying? They already independent. They wanna be bossy. If not your mother, your warden. You know what I'm saying? Your restrictor. You know what I'm saying? And that be a problem, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just let me be me. I'ma do what I'm supposed to do. You call me a dog. You know what a dog never do? Forget where his home is.
You
He
heard about
always
that?
come back home.
Right.
Extremely loyal.
Yeah, they're loyal to home. Yeah.
True.
I don't do
You
that
know what I'm
anymore.
saying? But if I ain't my home, you gonna run me off. I can find another home.
Yeah,
I will.
Somebody will take you in.
Cause I'm a
every time.
survivor.
Take you
Yes,
in.
I'm a survivor. You know what I'm saying? But I protect my home with my life. You know what I'm saying? And I'll never forget what my home is.
Well, I think that just as you mentioned, the side piece is more submissive. I think that it may be an easier role to be a side piece. And when you're a side piece, you get, and I'm just kind of throwing it out here.
That's okay.
You get tricked.
We know.
You get,
got you.
you're just getting the
Bits and pieces.
the bits and pieces. You're getting the best of you, the best of the man. You're not having to deal with the fact that he's not coming home, he's not showing up, he's not following through.
Are you really getting the best though? Are
So
you
it's not the
getting-
best. In
Not the
their
best.
point of view,
Right.
it's the best.
Okay.
I will definitely interject on that.
I wouldn't say it's the best.
I will interject.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, you might think that it's the best, I mean, outside of the fun, there's business in relationships. There's business.
You're right.
And when you talk about women being bossy and all that,
Right.
a lot of times those women that step into those roles and feel like they need to dominate in a relationship is because you got a side chick. And they already know that we have intuition. And we as women, we don't always ride on our intuition, but
We don't
have
always
to.
have one.
I know, I'm not saying that you always do. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying,
But
like,
when you
sometimes
get to telling me I do,
I
I
understand.
probably need to go
And
get
I've
me
never,
one.
and I can honestly say I've never been guilty of that. I have not. Now I can admit to a whole lot of stuff, but not that. Not that. I'm gonna let a man be a man, and I'm gonna be a woman. And the moment that you slip from being that man, for me, is an indication to me, and then my intuition kicks in that you're probably being a man for someone else.
How can you just?
I'm not
determine-
saying I'm
how
not
can- I got
saying that
questions.
this is the
No, no.
determining
No, I
factor,
said,
but
how
I'm
can
telling you with our
determine
intuition.
What's a man and what's not?
No, it's not what a man. I'm saying when you have a relationship, we all are adults here. If you have a relationship and you got a man that used to be home at 11, now you come home at 3.
You know something's going
I
on.
knew you was
Then
gonna
you
say
come
that.
home at 4,
No.
and when you come home, you freshly
Things
shower.
have
I mean, like, come on now. You ain't smelling like post after 12 hours. I mean,
Right.
seriously.
Check this out.
The
I'm
things
giving it
happen.
time.
There's signs of
Yeah,
of
but
things
the
that happen,
signs-
and everybody's not the
The
same.
signs that you created, signs that you identifying with, check this out. Usually, you my woman. You not my woman, but you my
I
woman.
got you.
Okay, so every day by 8 o'clock, we've been hanging out watching Wheel of Fortune. You know, for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? I ain't around. You know what I'm saying? I didn't tell you, but I came to do the Sister Girl show because I really want to be in
I got you.
entertainment. I really want people to see me or whatever. You probably ain't gonna understand that it's a room full of beautiful women. and we
Atmosphere
talking
and conversation, right? Yeah, atmosphere and conversation.
You're
Yes.
not gonna really understand those things, so I don't even bother to tell you
See,
whatever. You
that's
know
where
what
the
I'm
breakdown
saying?
of communication
Why
comes
do
in.
I have to
And that
answer
trust,
you?
it's not about answering, it's about trust. That person should have that trust for you. Like if you
No.
was my man, I wouldn't have a problem. If you told me you were sitting in a room of 1,000 women, if I trusted you to be my man and we were cohabitating and things like that, that means I trust you. And that
You
means
done
I don't
made-
care how
if
many
I
women you're
didn't
with.
tell you, if I didn't tell
If
you,
I-
you know why I didn't tell you?
It's because the
you
trust
done-
ain't there.
Okay,
you
so-
done- I done told you something before.
Okay.
And
you
it
came
came, it
back.
flipped you up. I understand
Okay,
that.
but what
That's
if she-
because
So
that
I
trust
can't
is not
talk
there.
to you.
That goes into a whole nother topic.
Okay, but
topic
what
of
if she
trust.
stops telling you?
I mean, that's cool.
Oh, there's a breakdown in a
That's what you
relationship.
say, but that's what you say.
That's what
but
you're
double
saying. But that's a
standard.
double
Yeah.
standard. That's a double standard. Oh, that's cool. That's your
That
answer.
takes it to a whole
Okay.
different thing of trust. To me, trust.
Cause I know what I'm gonna do. See, if you stop telling me,
Right.
and I find out or something like that, it's cool. I know what I'm gonna do.
So what you gonna do?
You're gonna communicate. You're gonna communicate with her.
I don't have ain't nothing to communicate. It depends on what it is.
See, men shut down.
Yeah,
They
do.
shut down.
Yeah,
They put
do.
up that brick wall.
Yeah, they
We
do.
don't even have no space. You know what I mean? Like, there's no space to even try to
You can't play
communicate.
me and think that I'm
No,
It's
I'm not talking
playing.
about
I mean,
playing you. I'm
it's not
talking
even about playing
it's
you. It's about if the
communication.
situation was
Being
reversed.
healthy in a
why you wanna be
relationship.
like me.
I'm just
No, no.
saying. It's not that someone
Why
We
was
just
y'all like me like me?
we just
I don't do the
hypothetically
same thing that
saying.
y'all do.
Exactly.
And if I practice those behaviors, I would be referred to as the Sasha, whatever
I
you
got
said
you.
earlier.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
got
gonna do that. I'm gonna be me.
Yeah.
But I don't need you to try to be me.
Exactly.
You
I
know
would
what I'm saying?
So and that goes.
I
and
get
you're right.
tired
That
of women
goes back
saying, well,
to
he
that.
go out every night, so I'm gonna go do it. So because
If
everybody
why
wanna
not?
jump off
If
the
you
bridge,
got
but
with
you don't
somebody,
want to.
if you got with somebody and when you got with her, you were out, she should expect you to go out every night because she met you out.
Because that's where she met you.
And if she
That's
did
right.
meet you out,
Right.
whatever she met you doing, she should expect you to continue to do
That's
that.
right.
So if she met you at
Why
a
do I
club,
have to keep doing anything?
you don't have to. But I'm
Right.
saying if you decided to, she should be okay with that. Because I mean, like, really, you think
That's
he's
where
gonna
I found
completely
you.
change
That's where
his
you found
persona
me.
and who you are and the things that you are interested in because you were her? No. That's where that breakdown comes from. That's when she don't become your side chick no more, and she ain't dropping it like it's hot because she's trying to be somebody that she think you want. Because most
If I
women
didn't want
think,
you in the first place, I wouldn't have you.
I know
The
that's
same
what
thing you did
I'm
to
just
get
saying.
me.
You need to
keep that.
continue to do it, and a lot of
Yeah.
people don't understand that.
Right.
They don't understand it. That's that breakdown of
I mean, there's
communication.
some things you shouldn't readjust.
There's some things you can readjust
And
together,
And I'm
but in
thinking, why
communication.
not? Why always expect the same? Like if we met at a club, or if that's just how you were at a club and I was at a club, and we met and we exchanged numbers and our relationship is developed. my expectation is for not for you to be in a club every night.
Not
I mean,
every
you
single
grow
night.
up, you change, you start to have a relationship, and things change as you have a relationship. That's the expectation, that we're going to grow and change together. Not that you're going to continue to do what you did as a single man now that you're in a relationship. So I would never expect that you would,
The right
you would
woman,
continue.
the right woman, make a man do the right thing every time.
But it all goes back to communication. We have to communicate what we need,
Absolutely.
what we
And
Not
want.
necessarily at the right time,
But
but he gonna
anytime.
do it. If I really want to be with you, and you home every night, I ain't gonna be out every
Every
night.
night.
You
But
know
when
what
you
I'm
want to
saying?
go, you can go.
Yeah.
That's
you know
that trust. That person gotta have that trust and not think that you're gonna be out with your side. I'm just saying that because
Plus
you brought
two,
it up. I mean, I'm just jokingly saying
We
that. I
have
know
fun.
exactly what you're saying.
If I can't have fun, like, you know what y'all do sometimes, when we first hook up,
I want to
any
win.
day of the week, you know, we might get it cracking or whatever. Then after we get in there be together for a while, that's when you get to put that ugly ass bonnet on your head, getting in the
Did you
bed
say
with your
bonnet?
pajamas on,
Yes.
all
Yeah, because
early,
people change.
knocking
Women
off
change.
and shit like
Women
that.
women
You
change.
know what I'm saying?
But
You
I don't
get
think
comfortable
that's
in
fair.
your
I
bed.
don't think it's fair for a man to expect what you saw 10 years ago that I'm supposed to keep that up each and every night. I don't even think that's realistic. You are different. You've changed. Your body has changed. What
No,
you
baby,
do is
I'm talking
change.
about your pattern, like.
Your patterns
I
have
can't-
changed.
if
You
I'm a-
used to be
if we-
able to keep it going for hours, and now you can't. So don't
My
expect
fun-
from me what you're
my
not
fun
able to
can't
do.
be-
My return.
That's
My
right.
fun,
That's right.
my fun
That's
can't just be sitting at the crib
Boom.
watching you shoot though. While I'm
Okay,
watching
maybe
TV.
not.
So this is when communication
That
comes
ain't
into
gonna
play, and you
work.
guys should plan things together.
And not only that, when you
Yeah.
If
talk
you
about
met her at the club, take her to the club.
I see
but-
that happen.
If you met
But
her
I
at the club
think
on
the
the dance
pressure-
floor, you know she got some
then
moves, take her to the club.
you know she
Right.
wants to be
Because
there
she ain't
on
gonna do it at
occasion.
home.
She wants to be there on
Yeah,
occasion
you
with
want to be there on
you.
occasion, but
And
please
you
don't
let
go
me
every
there.
night.
You
So
know how
take
you
me-
do
keep
it?
taking
You
me
go
out.
out of town and do it. You
And-
don't go back to the same place. you
Oh,
always
okay.
doing
Why
it, 'cause
not?
then-
Oh, okay.
But the,
No,
what?
you do it from periodically, but you
Oh,
don't go. Like if I met you at Tremors, we ain't gonna keep going back.
First, you ain't gonna be going to Tremors first.
He's not gonna put a club up.
We ain't going to
You know what I'm saying? We gonna go.
But what
we
I'm
gonna go out of
getting
town, go
anyway,
somewhere.
Mike,
is this, that I feel like there's a lot of pressure on women
That was
to constantly maintain something
But was
to,
that
keep,
not-
to keep your
I ain't so
attention.
much
Double
a shape,
standard.
man,
You
like-
said
I'm not
It's a
talking
double
about the
standard.
shape. I'm just talking about in general. There's pressure on women to constantly maintain something to keep men's attention. And if we don't, then you're going to threaten us
Y'all
with a
think
side
that.
chick.
Check
Okay,
this
so
out.
when do you?
You put them hold on, them
That's
eyelashes
what
that
you
you put on.
said.
Hold
The
on.
That's what you
Hold on,
said.
them eyelashes that you put on, you know who care about them? You. All that accessories.
It's-
and
it's
stuff
not
like
even
that.
about the-
I appreciate it, but y'all go through some stuff that most of us really don't even care about.
But we don't do it for most women.
Don't do it
Don't
for
do
men.
it. Most
we do it
women,
for-
girls
We do it
might
for
do it for
ourselves.
girls
We do it
might
for
do it for a
ourselves.
man, but women we do it for
We
us.
do it for
Because
ourselves.
we like it.
And hey, Mike, just
Just make us feel good.
Just quickly, you want a woman to put a bonnet on her head at night. That means she cares about her
That
look. She
means
cares
she
about
ain't got
herself.
no-
Exactly.
I just
That's
use
it.
that
She
as an
waking up with
example.
a
I
nice bonnet.
know,
Help
I know.
her hair.
And hold on, and I
If
appreciate
she's
she
waking
doesn't
up
I
with a
appreciate a
bonnet,
good head to hair. I appreciate a good head
Right.
to hair.
Okay.
And all that. But I'm just saying,
I'm
my
not jumping on you,
evening,
Mike.
my
I know, we know, we
evening,
know.
my evening my life cannot consist of watching you snore on the couch and watching the TV.
Okay.
Now, that can't be every evening. That
You just
can't
want some
be
fun.
it.
You
You
need
know
some
what I'm
fun every
saying?
once in
so
a
you
while.
have to incorporate activity in your
Yeah, you need
relationship.
some activity.
Yeah.
Activity outside the home is
Grown up
important.
stuff.
Very much so. And
Activity
hold
outside the
on.
home is
And it
important.
can't, and the fun just can't be me taking you and your or my kids, because of our
We
situation,
can have that.
just somewhere to go. That's fun too, but I'm talking about you gotta be, you know.
Yeah.
Adults.
You gotta have a
Yeah.
adult night.
Adult time.
And we
Okay.
can still have adult time, even incorporated with the thing, with the kids, you know what I'm saying, and the family thing and everything. But it's got to be some.
This
you
is
know,
all about balance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
main
it
word
gotta
is
be
balance.
that.
You gotta have
A lot of
It's
times I
balance.
see
Have
that
it.
that
You don't
don't
have to-
happen
I
in
mean,
these
balance
different
is major.
relationships, and then they be all on social media. Oh, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. We done together.
Yeah.
Every
That's
time
what
I
it is,
see
yeah.
the ladies, every time I see you, you with your
Your
girls.
girls.
That's right.
Okay.
You're right.
So if you always with your girls, when do you do anything with your girls?
Yeah.
Then
That's
you
important.
wonder. Then you
That's
wonder. You
important.
wonder why. You wonder why. these guys be at the strip club hollering at,
Now, see, he just took
saying,
it all the way to
Oh,
a
okay.
Mr.
level.
Dunk-a-dunk, trying to figure out and see, you know what I'm saying?
That's another time.
That's gonna be your next topic,
That's
Mike.
another
We're gonna save that for another show. But
William,
thank
did you have
you.
anything else?
William?
Well, do you need to add anything?
Yeah, I like
I mean,
William.
'cause
William's just like laid back. He like,
I mean, you kind of beat it. So I mean, because I'm wondering, I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, like, are these people married or are they in a relationship? First and foremost, because I mean, I think there's two different.
it's a huge
I have two
difference.
different answers depending on what the situation is.
Married, you better be at home watching her sleep.
Oh, see what I'm saying.
So if we're
There's
talking
gotta
about
be
side
balance
chicks
in
and
a
all that,
marriage.
I'm assuming that these people are single, right?
Single. I'm guessing.
Okay, so
Since we brought
I
that
could,
side chick
you
in.
probably, everybody will probably think totally, like I'm going to say is off because my perspective on dating, especially when you're not married, might be different, and that is from things that have been taught me and things that I've been through that I have witnessed and kind of grown into my own thinking, and that is when you start dating somebody, you either have a destination or you don't.
Right. That's that
So
purpose.
what I like to tell people is like, you know, if the ship does not have a port, then you know this it can land anywhere.
Exactly.
So
I like that.
when if you don't have a destination, when you start dating somebody, when you start talking about side chicks and you know infidelities and things like that, I mean basically if you didn't have anything established, nobody belongs to anybody.
Communication.
So
That's right.
if somebody has a side chick or somebody does step out or things of that nature, I mean, you really don't, at the end of the day, you don't have anything to say because you didn't put a ring on that person's finger and you didn't make a real commitment to that person.
Right.
So, I mean, that's just my theory on it. When I date, let's first say date somebody, if we don't have anything established, I don't necessarily look towards what they do or not do in my presence. I make it a point to understand that when they're out of my presence, as long as they're respecting me and my, you know, our situation, I don't have anything to say about what she's doing, you know, because she's not my wife. If I cared enough about her to do that, or if I care about that, then that's what should be the step I should take. I should be trying to make her my wife. So when you start talking about side pieces and things of that nature, personally, when I'm dating somebody, I don't worry about that. I tell them, like, if we sit down and, like I said, the ship does not have a destination, I say, look, you know, respect me out of your presence, I'll respect you, and let's keep our business out the street. And when we're with each other, we'll enjoy each other's company. But when we're not, then you know, people are free to do, you know, what they want to do. So that's just my take on, as far as you know, the
I got a
dating thing.
question for you, bro. I got a question for you.
Last question.
Okay, so you date. You dating exclusively or non-exclusively, whatever. At what point is this disrespect outside of your presence? Going on other dates? Going home with folks? Having relations with them?
You stay here. It's okay.
None of that is
No.
That's open.
Because this is me. Exclusive to me means that we're engaged, or we're either I gave you a ring. I mean,
So you
up
date
until that point, I mean, because I'm speaking from a sense of reality, not in a sense of perspective of what, you know, quote unquote, really supposed, you know.
So until the engagement,
I mean,
everything goes.
because the engagement is saying you belong. You know, I'm making a commitment for you to belong to me and me only.
Okay.
So if that's not if I haven't even got engaged or we've been talking for 3 or 4 months and you go on a date or you seeing other people, I'm gonna just say, hey, you know, protect yourself. You know, let's keep each other, you know, up to speed as far as you know what we're doing. You know, and
How old are you, bro?
that's it. 42.
That's the communication.
We're the same age.
So, you know,
yeah.
that's just. I mean, that's just come
communication.
from.
No.
But that's good communication. And
No.
you know what? That's honorable. What you just said. Protect yourself. Keep me up to speed. Respect each other. That's good communication and just honestly being a grown up. And I appreciate that statement. I do.
I mean,
I want to hear what you got to say.
well, check this out.
You say he doesn't agree.
No, I definitely don't agree because we ain't gonna get to the engagement if like,
If we still doing too much.
yeah, we ain't gonna get to that point. And usually when I think of engagement, you know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about all your friends getting married, so you want one, and we've been dating, and you think I'm stable enough to do it, and you really want it. What I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about when I say, you know what, baby, I'm tired of this. You know, let's do this thing. You know what I'm saying? That engagement. Not that one where all my friends is doing it, so I want you to do it.
Yeah.
Not that one. The one where I say, you know what? We need to go ahead and make, you know what I'm saying, make some moves towards our future. That one. When I make that decision, you agree, or you know, when we come to that thing, okay, we won't get to that thing if I date you.
Right.
I date you.
Distractions.
Go on dates with you.
Distractions. Yeah.
You know, I ain't gonna, that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get to that point because I'm gonna have feelings for all these people, you know what I'm saying? When you come to the point when you talk about engagement, there has to be some focus there.
Oh, yeah.
And if I'm not focused on you, can't play with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying? So commit, like they say you supposed to be ready for the job, not that you have, that you want.
Right.
So if you want to be a fiance, you already gonna be doing it. I ain't talking, yeah, you already gonna be doing it.
Your behaviors are
Yeah,
gonna
I think that
always
will
gonna
come
reflect
natural.
that.
Is what I'm saying. I
Yeah,
think
it
that
comes
will
together.
come.
Oh, it do.
I don't
It
think
do.
it will be something like we're gonna do what we want to do, and then I'm gonna pop up and be like, hey, you know,
ready
you
to
fix
serve.
it.
I'm ready
I mean,
to
it will work.
I
You know,
know.
I think if it's the
It's
two
growth.
right people, then that's just gonna
Relationships
come to place. But I believe as far as when you're in a situation when you're dating, then those things. I mean, I just realistic about the situation. And I mean, I'm not gonna approach everybody like you're a potential engagement because it's only one person out here for me. So this is gonna be like I say, a whole lot of fraud. You gonna fix a lot of frauds. Every woman's not intended to be my wife. So I'm gonna look at, I'm gonna come to the situation and think, you know, everybody that I'm coming across, okay, your possibility you're not the one. So I'm not gonna totally engage in you know, I'm not gonna go with everybody that I start dating. Some people, that's why they call it
Dating. Yes.
So that's really all I'm saying. But I mean, I see your point, exactly what you're making, and that makes a lot of sense. It has to be eventually come to a point where there's a focus and the two people are just seeing each other. But at the same time, the two, you know, there's no, at the end of the day, when there is no ring or there is no commitment, then the side pieces and all these things we're talking about, it's just, it's their game.
It's their game.
Because there is no commitment.
The two is just distractions. It's just one distraction after that distraction after
Yes,
that
that's
distraction.
exactly
Well, if we did things the way we're supposed to do it,
Yeah, we wouldn't
biblically,
be
none of
talking
this
about
we wouldn't be
dating.
having
We
this
wouldn't even be dating.
conversation.
Right. We wouldn't even be
We're just doing it. We're trying to
Right.
do it real time and
That's where it goes back to
moderately,
dating.
where
Right.
it can make sense.
That's right.
But I
If you have a
appreciate you.
purpose, then you date.
That's
If you
right.
don't have a
Right.
purpose,
Then you don't date.
you can do whatever you want to
I'm
do.
with you.
And you
Right.
let these people know
That's right.
because they probably have a purpose.
Right.
But if you communicate
Yeah.
and create that balance, that's that whole process. So then that person understands, okay, he's looking for a wife. I'm looking for a husband. So yeah, I'll date you. But if a woman could say, oh, sure, he's looking for a wife. I ain't trying to be that. I'm just trying to have some fun. And women do that every day. Every day. I'm not trying to be nobody's wife. I want to have a good time. I just want to have fun. That's it. But if you communicate and then you say, all right, well, we can have fun. But if I happen to be somebody along the way, I might start dating. And then we can't have fun no more. And they should be okay with that.
I
If
get
you,
told that all the time.
you know, that's what
I'm
I'm
not
saying.
looking for
Women
that.
do that all the time. I'm not looking
So-
for no relationship. I'm like, well, shit, I do.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, at 40 something, I am.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like,
someone to turn
I don't
girlfriend.
need to.
I'm not gonna
I don't
be-
need to do the things that a 20-year-old is out in
That's
the
right.
streets doing.
That's right.
I mean, at over 40, you don't really like what's.
There should be some shit. There should be
What are you
some
gonna
things
do?
that change.
What are you gonna gain from that?
Right,
Like
right.
you've already had lots of fun and your little
That's
life
right.
experiences and things like that. You should be
And-
burnt out on that.
And going back to the question that was posed was the question before this last one is when men say one thing and women hear another. This is another thing that happens.
Right.
I hear you say, you may say to me, hey, we're just here to have fun and see what happens. In my mind, I'm saying, see what happens means we may be able to get married.
Right.
You know, that's how women think.
If we date for so long,
They're
Right.
hopeful.
that's why I
that
said
it'll turn
how
into
long
something.
is too long.
Well, I think you need to check in.
we
You need
take
to check
those- we
in.
take
Let's
it
revisit.
Absolutely.
Right.
Let's
Yeah,
revisit.
we gotta revisit.
Honey,
Because
are we
we
feeling
gotta
about where we
accept-
are?
Hold on,
You
'cause
have
I
to
was like-
accept where somebody is.
That's
Like
right.
if you're not in the
That's
same
right.
place, no matter how much I have feelings for you,
That's
right.
you're not going to get on my playing field because you're just not there. You're
That's
not
right.
interested in what I'm
That's right.
interested in,
Right.
and I have to accept that.
Yeah.
Women have to accept that. Sometimes men, but more so women, we get caught up in this idea that this is a good man. in and we're having a good time and we should be good together and why can't we make it work? Because I'm not there. I don't want it. And we have to accept that. And we in that communication we have to just say, he's a black and white communicator. He said what it is. I'm trying to find all these gray areas
And
to
he's already
fit
told
into
you.
what I want, but it doesn't
He already
work
told
that
you.
way.
Right, to fit into what I desire,
Yeah.
what I want.
And it doesn't work that way.
work that
Back on
way.
what she
Because
said,
nobody's communicating.
I've experienced that literally a couple of times where I've communicated regularly, like this is not what I'm looking for, and literally ended up in a situation where the person was totally ignoring what I was saying. Because I think,
happens.
like you're saying,
Those emotions.
women do it, like they'll get their mind made up. Like, no, this guy, I like him, or whatever, and it'd be what they thinking in their mind. It's
Right.
not what you. And I mean, on a regular, at least every 2 weeks, I'm reiterating like, hey, look, I'm
You
not.
know what the
It's
problem
not
is?
gonna
No,
work.
the problem is you said this is not what I'm looking for.
gotta say.
When really you said you're
That's
not
right.
what I'm looking
And
for.
because when you
Good answer.
and then when you say
Perfect
this
answer.
is not what I'm looking for, but you still coming over her house,
Right.
So that means she thinks
So it's not this.
If
maybe I
I just
can do
change
something
it-
different. I can change my
If it's
behavior,
not this,
and then maybe that'll be
it's
it.
That is the important
That's-
part.
if it's not
You,
this, it's
everybody
communication.
has a responsibility.
That's
in
right.
it. So
Yes.
if you
Yeah,
know
but we
that
don't
my
know-
You
my
right.
actions want something else, you have a
We right off the
responsibility to
boat.
say,
If
you
my
know
problem
what,
with you is
cut it
your
off.
behavior,
It's-
I'm gonna say this is not what I'm looking for because I really deep down inside, I wish that you would
Work.
change some of these behaviors. But we wrong. Let's be
Ain't nobody gonna
honest.
change, right? You might
Let's be honest.
camouflage them or leave them at bay, but yeah, I got you.
I've been peeing on the floor for a long time and leaving the toilet seat up for a long time.
That's right.
And you're not gonna change that.
You're just not gonna change.
I'm gonna work on
I mean,
it.
you can work on
That's
it, but
good.
it might still happen.
I'm gonna
If you want to get the
these
girl,
I'ma forget
put the toilet seat down.
So for the right one,
You'll put
I'm
it
gonna
down.
consciously think about
Put it down.
Right.
at all
When
times
you
because
can.
I have a desire to
Please her,
make her happy.
exactly. You're gonna do
above
all
all.
those things.
That's right.
Right.
You know
Good,
what I'm
good.
saying?
And that's when you know
When
it's
they
gonna
come
be
around, but
I
at
think
the
we
same
ended this very
time,
well.
at the same time, guy, you gotta let me know that when I do that, that
That
I made the right decision. Never make me regret doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because I'm just saying as a man, not just as me, but just as a man, men hate to be like, man, I was doing this thing.
I got you. I hear that all the time. I hear that from guys all the time. I was doing this, and this, and
But
she
it's like-
still didn't care. She
It's
didn't.
like-
That wasn't
it's
enough.
life, and it comes with life. And so
I give people their credit.
it comes with
You
life
have
and
to.
experience.
We're wrapping up.
Wrapping up.
Part 2. We'll be back in 6 weeks with part 3, men versus women. Thank you, lovely folks, for coming out.
Thank you.
It's gonna wrap
Thank
up
you,
with
thank
y'all
you.
today.
So this is my thought of the day, and we're not talking about women versus men. If you know a young person, a millennial person, reach out to them and show them some love. There are a lot of young adults, a lot of young kids that are really, really hurting today in 2015. Reach out to them. Ask them, can I do anything for you? Can I share anything with you? I love you. I'm concerned about you. They think they're connected because they own one of these, but trust me, they're not connected. They are missing out on life. Connect, interact with them one-on-one, and let them know that you care, okay? So this is my thought of the day. Make it a great evening.